Good evening and welcome back to the Triathlon Devs YouTube channel. We've come down to Burghley tonight, ready for the race in the morning. We've brought the caravan down, so we're staying over at the campsite. It's not really a campsite, it's a field. Mark had to drive the van about half a mile to find the water pipe for it. So it's a field with 2 portaloos and that's it. But it does the job for us. We've got the caravan, so we're nice and comfy. We've had tea, we've had some pasta for tea, and we're just chilling out now, and we're going to get an early night. What we've realised tomorrow is that transition closes at 6:15, so we've got to be all racked and everything and out of transition by 6:15. But also the road to Burghley closes at 6 as well. So yeah, so it's going to be a fairly early start still. I think we're going to leave here about 5:30, which means getting up at 5 o'clock. Yeah, fantastic. But yeah, we're all sorted. Got everything ready for tomorrow. I've got my tri-suit ready to put on there. I've got my wetsuit and things in the bag there. I've got my helmet and everything else ready for transition. I have been and racked my bike today. It's been quite a novelty being able to rack your bike for a sprint distance one. But yeah, they gave you the option of either doing that today or tomorrow. So that's been quite useful to get that over and done with. I bought my trusty bike mechanic Swan barista. You all right, babes?
Yeah.
All settled? You've sorted my bike for me, haven't you? Cooked tea, he's made me a coffee, he's been to fetch water, he's looking after me very well. All I need now is a little leg massage, isn't it? And then we're sorted.
Yeah.
You ready for an early start tomorrow? Yes, let's rock and roll. Jasper! Brought Jasper with us because Jasper likes to come to the races now as well. Hi, dude. Hello. Good boy. And Stevie Boy's across the way. Stevie Boy's tucked up in bed because he's an old man. So yeah, he's tucked up. He's not racing. He's just come along to heckle and be my additional camera crew. So now I've got 2 camera crew tomorrow. Okay, right, we're going to get an early night tonight, hopefully. And then we will see you in the morning up nice and early. See you later. Good morning. Welcome to race day. Stevie's doing his warm-up.
No, I'm practicing for Holcomb, and we.
Oh yeah, Stevie's not racing. Stevie can't be bothered.
He's showing me injuries.
Oh, look at him. Old man fell over going for a run. This is what happens when you do triathlon at his age. Broke his thumb, according to Steve.
Yeah, still tripped up.
You feeling ready?
Good, Debs, yeah, all good,
Ready?
thank you.
Have you put your helmet back together with cable ties?
Don't say it too loudly, but the cable tie is in action.
John went to put his bike in transition yesterday and his helmet broke, so they wouldn't let him in, so he's had to bring it back again and can't do it.
I'm naked under this.
And I said they won't let you in.
Right, let's wander over to get sorted in transition then. Right, we're all racked up, ready to go. I think I've got everything. Got my bike, got my shoes on my bike, got my race number, got my helmet, got my trainers, got my sunnies, got my visor. But yeah, it's turning into a lovely day. It was about 10 degrees when we got it this morning, but it's warming up quite nicely. I think it's forecast to be about 15 degrees when the race starts. So yeah, so we're ready. We've got 6:30, so we've got an hour. So I'm going to go put my bag in the bag drop. Transition closes fairly shortly anyway, so then I'm going to go find Mark and chill out. I don't know who's more nervous this morning, Hannah or John. Hannah's like, do this, do that, do this, do that.
He's forgetting everything.
John was all organised and then Hannah's flustering him.
I don't think so.
I don't do flustering.
He doesn't do organised.
Have you got everything?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. I mean, you look like you're ready to do a triathlon.
We're
mate, aren't you?
advertising.
Oh, morning. It's a bit loud.
Welcome to the Burghley multisport. That's what losing 9 kilos does for you, Stephen.
I know, look at that. Don't turn sideways, you disappear.
I said that.
Stick your tongue out, you'll look like a zip. That's what they used to say, innit?
Look like a what?
Zip.
A zip. And to chafe. Coach is doing well here. Can you go and swim it for me as well?
Hello. Oh, look at him. He's got his little GoPro. Right, cameraman.
Everyone's face in the film though.
Come on, Debs. Come on, Debs. Come on, Laura. Woo! Come on, Laura. Go for it. Go, go, go.
Right then, John Boy, how was that?
Hey, that was great. The swim was horrible because it was murky as. It was very grey and grim and shallow. So you could have walked and paddled it, but the swim was okay. The cycling made up for it. I enjoyed the cycling.
What about your T1?
T1, I was 5th in my category in T1. I'll point that out before I mentioned that I'd forgot my helmet. I had to go back for it. So I could have even won T1. I don't know what you get for that, but probably
bragging
nothing.
rights.
Bragging rights. 13th in my category. No, that's not true.
11th in your T1, wasn't
No.
it?
5th in my category
Fifth, yeah.
overall,
Oh.
and 24th overall across the open and
Yeah.
female categories.
19th out of the males. That's a pretty good effort.
That's
To
all
say
right.
you're not doing sprint training this year, you're doing middle distance
Yeah,
stuff.
it went all right, and the weather's perfect, and the venue's perfect, and the friends are fabulous.
No.
It's been great.
Yeah, look, we'll get Jane in as well.
And
Jane's normally really healthy, but we've caught her on that one-off time that she's eating a biscuit.
Yeah,
Like never. Awesome.
But yeah, thank you.
Well done, mate.
I really enjoyed
Good
it.
effort.
The run was all right, but I had jelly quads.
Yeah.
That's my technical term. But I think I just need to do some more cycling to get the legs a bit stronger for that, and it'll be fun.
Sounds good. Awesome. So it's taken a little while to get the results up on the computer, but we finally got them in. So overall, I've done 1 hour 29:57. My swim I did in 11:40. The swim was well short. My Garmin's got it at 670 yards, so I think that probably works out at about 620 metres, nowhere near 750 metres. But yeah, it was nice and warm. I think they said it was about 19 degrees.
Yeah.
Really, it was like getting in a bath, but it was just a bit minging because it was really shallow and it was just full of silt, and you stood at the bottom and you just covered in silt before you started, and you couldn't even see your hand in front of your face, so it's quite hard to draft people. Yeah. So the swim was 11 minutes 40. T1 I came 5th, 2 minutes 36. My bike I did in 43 minutes, average 17.2 mile an hour on the bike, which I was hoping for a little bit faster. I think I must have just been really rubbish going up the hill out of Burghley. So yeah, I was hoping for a little bit faster with that, and then had a terrible run, if I'm honest. My run, it was 3.18 miles, and my run was 27:46, so that's worked out at 8:45 minute miles, which I was hoping to get about 8-10 minute miles, if I'm honest. But it was quite hilly, didn't really suit me, and just died a little bit. But overall, I came 4th out of 20 in my age group. It was 10-year age group, so I'm quite happy with that. I was 1 minute off getting 3rd, and female wise I was 14 out of 74, and then 48th out of 149 for the men and women. So I'm fairly happy with that, to be honest. So I think if I can do that kind of swim and that kind of bike at Barry Island, and then I just need to get my arse into gear and sort out the running, and hopefully I can pick up the speed on that a little bit. But yeah, it feels good. It's a glorious day now. We're stuck here because the roads don't open till 12 o'clock. So Mark's had a bacon butty. All right then, Mr. Curry.
Yep.
Cameraman. He's had a recovery bacon butty and egg butty. I've had egg butty, we've had a cup of coffee, we're chilling out. It's roasting, it's probably about 24 degrees or something. Yeah, I was reading the paper. You had a strenuous morning, Hannah?
Well, I went a run, didn't
She
I?
did, she'd been for a run. She's been for a steady run.
I did a lap of the run course,
You did?
5k.
Yeah, faster than what I did it. What time did you do it in?
I don't know, 25 and a half.
Did you? Yeah.
Steady.
Faster than
Average
you.
heart rate, 138. Not one of those.
So yeah, so hopefully the road is going to open soon, so we will make a move, get back to the caravan and then get home. Right, see you later. I thought I'd do a little bit of a review generally of the Burghley Multisport Weekend because it's the first time that it's been held. I'm doing this review predominantly on the basis that I did the sprint triathlon, so that's where most of my attention is going. And can I just point out, I'm not sponsored by Pacesetters. This is completely my own opinion of how I found the race. Firstly, if we look overall at the event, I think it's a really good setup. There's something for everybody with the Burghley Multisport Weekend. There was sprint, Olympic distance and 100k distance triathlons. There was duathlons, there was aquathons, there was kids duathlon and triathlon, there was swim only races, there was run only races. So yeah, so a proper sort of family friendly vibe to it, something for everybody. The actual grounds of Burghley are really iconic and picturesque and lovely to race in. There's also pretty good sort of kids adventure playground and gardens that you can go into, either if you're doing the long course and you're off for a little bit on the bike and the kids getting bored, you can go over to the adventure playground and stuff, or if you're finished earlier on in the day and then you can bribe your kids to behave during the morning with a trip out to the adventure playground and the park in the afternoon. I would definitely recommend that. The sprint distance costs £60 to enter, which I thought was quite reasonable. Last year I paid £96 to go and do Staunton Harold. I think most open water sprint triathlons you're looking at sort of at least £65–70 these days. For that, you got a medal, you got a finisher's t-shirt, you got cakes at the end, there was free parking, there's also trophies for the top 3 in each age group. There was camping available, but I'm quite divided as to whether this was worthwhile or not. It was only £20, so nice and cheap and cheerful, but it was 2 miles away from the race venue, so you couldn't walk it. The camping itself was literally a field with 2 portaloos. There was nothing else in it. There was no showers. There was water, but it was the field was massive that it was in, and Mark literally had to drive in his van to go over to get the water. It was probably like 3/4 of a kilometre away, so that's not really ideal. I think it's great if you're going in a camper van or a caravan, then yeah, it's absolutely worthwhile. If you're going in a tent, I don't know if I'd really recommend it. It is literally just a field. For the swim, the lake itself is very shallow and very warm. I think race day the temperature was actually 19 or 20 degrees. For those of you that aren't that confident in open water swimming, I think you could pretty much stand up the whole of the way around if you had any panics with it. You got 3 minutes to acclimatise before the race. The downside, I would say, it is a very murky lake. With it being so shallow, I literally think it's like that shallow for quite a large, no, maybe a bit more. But I think you could almost touch the bottom with your hands. I mean, I'm quite short, so I didn't have that problem. But it's certainly well less than a metre deep for the majority of it. So that meant it was really silty, really murky. You couldn't see anything. You couldn't see your hand in front of you in the water. It was really hard to draft people. And everybody came out with just minging brown faces with like sludge all over it, which made for excellent race photos. The course for all of them was an out and back. So what I don't understand for the sprint one is why it ended up being so short. It was less than 600 metres in the end. So that was completely unnecessary. You know, you could have just put that our first turnaround buoy further up the lake, and we could have had a 750 metre swim. So I don't really know why Pacesetters got that so wrong. The bike was on completely closed roads, which is a really nice novelty. There's not many races that do that anymore. So that was great. There was one small climb out of transition, sort of the first mile out of transition through the service roads to the main road from Burghley was uphill. But then after that, it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's flat because there was still 500 feet of ascent over the sprint course, but there's no hills whatsoever in it. It's just rolling. But the nice thing is, it's one of those courses where you get fast downhills, and then the speed carries you up the uphills, so you really don't notice that 500 feet with it. So yeah, it's a really fast course, really good for getting down on your TT bars and getting your disc wheel on the back. It was short loop, so one loop was basically the sprint distance one, which was 13 miles. So what it did mean is, because there was the standard and the 100k race going at the same time, there was quite a lot of congestion out on the roads with the bikes. Obviously there was no cars out there, which was great, but there was lots and lots of bikes. There was quite a lot of drafting going on, because it was quite hard, because there were so many people around, to keep the distance and keep that spread out. So that's just one thing to be aware of. But all in all, that kind of bike course absolutely suits me down to the ground. I absolutely loved it. The road quality is really nice. The run is all within the grounds of Burghley. Lovely picturesque run with it. It's pretty much just kind of trails and a bit of sort of knobbly grass with it. It's quite hilly. It's not like really steep, horrible hills, but it is sort of, you know, quite rolling with. Really good for spectating with. There was nutrition on it as well. There was water and Coke and gels, which is quite a novelty for sprint distance, but that's because it had the standard and the 100k distance as well. So yeah, all in all, I would say that the run was pretty spot on. In summary, I really like that event. I think there's a few little teething problems that Pacesetters can probably work through for next year to make it even better, but it's definitely something that's going to be on my race calendar, and it's really nice for me because next year when I go, might be able to persuade Mark to do one of the running, and hopefully by then Amelia will be up for doing some of the junior triathlons, so we can make it a whole family weekend out. That's my summary. Join me next time for my final build-up to the first European qualifier at Barry Island in a couple of weeks' time.